Greetings, family. Greetings, brothers and sisters. Thank you for always coming back to watch our videos. And today we are talking about Senegal. You know, when Senegal got a new president, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, he said that he's going to negotiate mining contracts so that mining can benefit Senegal. And you know, Senegal has gold, oil, gas reserves, among other minerals, which only them know. And on top of that, there's something that is called the pact of continued colonization. And one of the things that the pact of continued colonization used to say is this: that if any
right to refusal,
if any francophone country has a mineral, a certain type of mineral, say gold, oil, or whatever, the French has the first right of refusal, meaning they have the priority. They are the priority country to come and mine. So if Senegal, for example, Senegal has gold, it's only French companies which are allowed to mine unless they say we don't want. And if they don't want, they are the same people who are going to recommend the country in which you can allow them to mine or give them mining concessions or licenses. Okay, so we have seen Diomaye Faye going around West Africa trying to do things like in the last video, last Sunday, which is on 7th July 2024, was in Abuja, Nigeria, because there was an ECOWAS summit. And there, the biggest thing, because ECOWAS is kind of dying, because 8 years left, that is Mali, BURKINAFASO, and Niger. What they are trying to do is bring them back. And so he was given the responsibility, of which I'm 100% sure that in January we'll be seeing a whole new ECOWAS with no AES. And like we saw AES last Saturday, which was on 6th July. We saw on Thursday last week, which was on 4th July 2024, we saw the Minister of Mining of Senegal in Paris. And this is what happened. So Senegal does not intend to be dispossessed of its mineral wealth. So the Senegalese government reaffirms its ambition regarding its economic sovereignty, and in particular on its mining sector. The new president, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, and his government wish to renegotiate certain contracts. And during a speech at the Mining on Top Africa Summit, which was being held last week in Paris, the Minister of Mines and Oil, Biram Souleye Diop, pointed out the subjugation of African states, the countries which exploit their resources. The crazy thing is, this is called Mining on Top Africa Summit. Mining on Top Africa Summit. And it was held in Paris. It's crazy that our leaders still go to Paris to
talk about our minerals and how they are going to be exploited.
Are we stupid? So this is what he said. He said, I don't want to limit myself to Europe. We have to make the most of the benefits all over the world. It's true, I came to Paris, but if my interest in Saudi Arabia is there, I'll go and get it there. We have seen, we normally see our leaders saying, we have found gold, we have found coltan, we have found this mineral, and I'm going to Europe to look for
partners,
investors, because like it seems our ancestors in Ghana, Gold Coast, could not mint gold and make statues out of that. We have seen our statues in the museums, but it seems our leaders don't understand that we can also do it. So it's crazy, but it's also good that the Minister of Mining is kind of against this pact of continued colonization.
Yeah.
And we are hoping, as much as we saw Bassirou Diomaye Faye, and as much as we know that he's trying to bring back the free people back to slavery, that is the AES, we're hoping that this guy will do something for his people.
But it's one thing to bargain something and take action, towards removing yourself. It's another being against something that you can't even free yourself from unless you cut off the ties. Because you can't tell me that you are continuing your relations with France and you are against some of these things that they have.
So the minister added and said this: Africa, all producing countries, must accelerate together to process on site. Like what Burkina Faso is doing, what Mali is doing. You mine your gold, you process on site. And he said, as long as we do not take the decision to process, we do not transfer skills. That is true. Do you know that France knows the mining register of Senegal better than Senegal?
Exactly.
He asked that, and it's true. These guys,
they have all the data, everything
of the country. And last in one of our last videos, we say that you see national parks in Africa, and you say, oh, we are protecting our animals, it's a conservation.
There's minerals there.
There's minerals there. Because so it's a protected area so that we don't
one
exploit.
day they will come and mine.
One day after their plans, they'll come and mine. So he continued and said, they still have the data and they have not shared it with us. What generosity are we talking about? Processing also requires knowing what is in our subsoil, what is in our ground.
Imagine you don't even know what you own. These guys are just looking at you and laughing and saying, you think you can...
Does it mean that we don't have geologists?
We have all of those people.
But these guys who come and say we are bringing our military to help you,
those are geologists,
but they are not fighting. Ibrahim Traore said that these guys would come and we see them with tools, geological tools, because he's a geologist. He has a degree in geology. He says they come and we look at and we see they have tools, geological tools with soil which is red.
Their shoes are filled with red soil.
Red soil. Where we are, it's had a whole different soil.
They've been digging.
Ibrahim Traore is very brilliant. So it's the same thing. We saw a map of the whole of Africa done by, I think, NASA, showing all the minerals in Africa. They have studied it from above. And our leaders, they will call them and tell them to investigate the minerals and then go out there and bring the investors. We get 10% like Ghana.
I'd like to tell Minister Job that it's good to have dreams, it's good to have visions for your country and for the people of Senegal. But unless you free yourself from France, there's nothing that all of these dreams that you have will take you. Look at AES. These guys looked at their situation and they're like, the only way out here is if we remove ourselves from these chains. As long as we are still chained by France, we are not free. We can't exploit our minerals. We can't sell to the people. Now, Niger got a deal with China. Would have thought a huge deal.
This all would be going to France.
You see, or France would have done. Put it somewhere in their reserves until they, get a good seller, a good buyer. So unless Diomaye removes himself from France, I swear this is just all talk. We have seen it in some of these countries. People are so ambitious. Our leaders are very ambitious.
The whole of
we should
Africa
be doing
is just talk.
Ambition. Do it. Be like Traore. Be like Assimi Goïta and Tiani. Do it. Take action. Even if people would be against you, France would be against you, the whole world would be against you. We're seeing a lot of propaganda reports that these guys are suffering after France and the US have left. But trust me, these guys are striving on their own.
Yeah, so guys, let us know what you think in the comment section. Do you think Senegal will come out of this? Or you think like we do, this is a game? If you'd like to support us, we have buy us a coffee link in the description. And you can also give us super chat.
Super thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. We see you in our next video.